Winning a world championship in Formula 1 is tough. Defending it is even tougher. Remember, everybody is suddenly gunning for you and you alone. Max Verstappen is struggling at the start of this season, but will he be able to recover? There are plenty of drivers in the modern era of F1 that haven't been able to while defending a world championship. I'm Ollie Wilson for GPFans, and in this special we look at some of the biggest names in F1 history that have struggled to defend a world title. Before we go any further, just a reminder that we of course have plenty of news videos and specials here at the YouTube channel, so give us a subscribe by hitting the button down below. But let's dive into some of the most difficult title defences in the modern era of Formula 1. Starting with Mika Hakkinen. The Finn seized his first world title in 1998, but the 1999 season started pretty badly for the now 53-year-old. During the opening weekend in Australia, he took pole position by half a second, but struggled to move on the warm-up lap. The race then started in a fairly solid manner. After 12 laps, he had already pulled away from the competition for about 20 seconds or so, but during a restart behind the safety car, problems arose with the gearbox. The green flag was waved, but Hakkinen barely made any progress. It led to a bizarre scene in which the entire field was bunched up behind the Finn at a really slow pace until he crossed the start-finish line and it was time to start overtaking again. Hakkinen would be forced to retire. He then won in Brazil before dropping out again in San Marino. 2 retirements and 1 win in the first 3 races of the season? Sounds pretty familiar to somebody in 2022, doesn't it? Hakkinen still became world champion that year, so there is still hope for Max Verstappen and his supporters. He then started the following season in 2000 with 2 DNFs before finishing second in the world championship behind an incredible Michael Schumacher, who took the world title that year. And talking of Michael Schumacher, Formula 1 was dominated by the German between 2000 and 2004. While employed by Ferrari, the German won the world championship 5 times in a row, bringing his total to 7. In 2005, however, this came to a rather abrupt end. Schumacher won 13 of the 18 Grand Prix in 2004, but 2005 he could only find 1 victory, and that was at the controversial United States Grand Prix, where only 6 cars were able to finish. The season started badly in Melbourne. After a failed qualifying and an engine change, Schumacher had to start from the back of the grid. He managed to fight his way to 8th place, only to be knocked out of the race by Nick Heidfeld in the Williams. Furthermore, it was mainly the tyre regulations that cost Ferrari and Schumacher that year. Teams weren't allowed to make tyre changes during a race. Bridgestone's tyres were fast, but they also wore out very quickly. During the race, the grip decreased immensely. A big advantage for the teams on Michelin tyres. This rubber was considerably slower, but a lot more durable. This turned the battle for the World Championship into one between McLaren and Renault, with Schumacher and Ferrari nowhere to be seen. The 2009 season is one that Lewis Hamilton will undoubtedly not want to look back on and think about too much. The British driver claimed his first world championship with McLaren the year before, but in 2009, just like this year, the aerodynamic regulations were changed. McLaren greatly underestimated the impact of this and was so caught off guard by a number of teams that sacrificed the 2008 season to start developing their new car as early as possible. Among other things, this was the year of the Brawn team's illustrious double diffuser. In addition to missing the boat in terms of development, the season for McLaren kicked off with a major scandal. Hamilton started 18th in Melbourne after a torrid qualifying session, but fought his way into 3rd impressively. However, it was revealed a few days later that both Hamilton and McLaren sporting director Dave Ryan had lied to the stewards about letting Jarno Trulli pass behind the safety car. Trulli went off the track during the safety car period, causing Hamilton to pass him. McLaren then ordered the British driver to let Trulli pass again, but later denied this to the stewards. Trulli was given a 25-second time penalty for overtaking behind the safety car. Hamilton lost his podium, Ryan lost his job. It led to a major scandal in a year when Hamilton won a few races but was unable to get involved in the World Championship battle. Finally on the list, Sebastian Vettel. Vettel and Red Bull Racing were an unbeatable combination between 2010 and 2013. The German won the World Championship 4 times in a row, while his team bagged the Constructors each year. In 2014, however, the hybrid era started in Formula 1, and with that, the successful run came to a rather abrupt end. Mercedes became the new dominant force in the field, while Red Bull Racing struggled with major reliability issues with the Renault power unit. In addition, Vettel could not handle his car. In Australia, he qualified only 13th, and on Sunday had to retire after just 3 laps, with the technical problems that had plagued him all weekend. Vettel didn't win a race all year, and decided to leave for Ferrari at the end of the season. So, defending a world championship is far easier said than done, and even some of the greatest drivers in the modern era of Formula 1 have struggled. Will Max Verstappen be able to get himself back in the title fight if Red Bull sort out their reliability issues? Let us know in the comments section down below, or if Charles Leclerc and Ferrari just looked too good already this season. And remember to hit subscribe to stay with us here for the whole of the year at GP Fans.